he needs to avenge that loss that he had against Brock Lesnar. And what better place? And I'm not talking about the Royal Rumble. I'm talking about what better place than WrestleMania for the Undertaker to make one last match against Brock Lesnar.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to an all-new episode of the Wrestling Time Machine. I'm your host, Mac Davis, along with my pro wrestling journalist co-host, Mr. Bill Apter, and WWE Hall of Famer, Mr. Teddy Long. Hey, Teddy, we never know which way we're going
right
here.
now? Is that right?
I just saw Bill doing this one time, and I said I like that, so I just started pointing.
Your nails are better manicured than mine.
Hey,
by the way, I'm doing the show topless.
I was just about to say, I noticed there's a lot more light coming from the top of your head than normal.
Yeah. But I've got more hair on my head than either of you, but this you got a lot more than I do.
Yeah, and I just tried to trim mine up a little bit when I had power today. Teddy, I know you had storms today just like we did. It's been crazy in the South with storms, brother.
Yeah, well, they kind of died. We had it last night. Kind of died down a little bit today. It's been just a little windy and rainy, but all of it's kind of moved out now. So, hopefully, we'll be peaceful tonight.
But wait a minute. When people are seeing this, it could be gorgeous out.
Could be. They don't even know where I live. So, I mean, it's...
Right.
Hey, speaking of storms, like we've had in Georgia in the last 24 hours, when we're recording this, Roman Reigns now finds himself in a bit of a storm. Now he's got to defend his title against not one but three different people at the Royal Rumble, and that being Randy Orton, LA Knight, and AJ Styles. What do you think is happening here? This is kind of a little monkey wrench before we get into WrestleMania. So, Teddy, I know you've been in the back a lot, and you know kind of how they think. What do you think is happening here?
Well, I don't know. Maybe I used to know how they think. I don't know how they're thinking now. Okay. In my opinion, I think this is pretty good. Good four-way there, and you got some names there. You got some great competitors in there. So I think this is really great. Don't know what the outcome's going to be, but it's going to be something that will hook the fans because now you got four guys in there and four top guys like that. There's got to be something that's really going to take place here. So I think it's a very good idea.
Bill?
All right, so you have AJ Styles. He's the only, you got Randy Orton and
LA Knight.
I was going to say, let me talk to you. LA Knight.
Yeah.
LA Knight and Randy Orton are the strongest competitors not to get pinned in that match by Roman Reigns. In my opinion, my prediction here is that AJ Styles will be the one to lose somehow, and Roman Reigns will continue to be the undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion of the world.
All right, now let me ask you another question. If he remains the Universal World Heavyweight Champion for WWE, what happens come WrestleMania? There's a lot of talk now that maybe, just maybe, if we can hold him out till SummerSlam as the champion, he will then pass Hulk Hogan's record.
No, I don't think that's going to happen. I think that whoever the opponent is at WrestleMania, which we're still not sure, if they're going to do the switch, that's where it's going to be. SummerSlam is too far in the distance. It's August. It's too many months away. They've got to do something to make this compelling at WrestleMania, and that might be finally taking the title from him.
Let me ask you, who do you want to see in WrestleMania with Roman Reigns? I mean, just as a fan, not business-wise, not what you think they might or might not do. As a fan, who would you like to see in the ring with Roman Reigns at WrestleMania?
Are you asking me or Teddy?
Either one of you.
Teddy, who do you think first?
Well, I'm really high on LA Knight. For
Mhm.
some reason, man, I like this guy. You know what I mean? And I'd certainly like to see him there.
Bill?
To me, it's got to be, well, if we're talking, there's 2 nights of main events. One of them has got to be against Roman Reigns, and I think it's going to wind up with Cody Rhodes in Roman Reigns' face. And I think the other night, because of public demand, it's going to be Seth frickin' Rollins against CM Punk.
Now, see, you kind of stole right where I was headed to. So that's the other matchup. But let me mention a name we have not talked about lately, and WrestleMania season's coming. Brock Lesnar. He will most likely fall into WrestleMania somewhere, and we didn't mention him the other day when we talked about Gunther. Could Gunther and Brock be the match at WrestleMania?
Well, how do you know he's gonna fall in somewhere at WrestleMania? How do you
Correct.
know that?
Right.
I can't imagine when you got this guy under contract that he's not going to come in and work WrestleMania.
Brother, they got a lot of guys. Okay, that's what I'm saying to you. Okay, if he ain't part of the Royal Rumble, you know what I mean? If you're gonna bring him to WrestleMania, you sure need to feature him in the Rumble. But like I say, you never know what they're gonna do. But yeah, you gotta have Brock in there some kind of way. So we just have to wait and see what happens.
I got it. I got
What
it.
you got? What you got?
I got it. You ready for this? This is exclusive. I just thought of it. There have been reports recently about maybe the Undertaker is ready for one last trip. In the event he is ready for one last trip, he needs to avenge that loss that he had against Brock Lesnar. And what better place? And I'm not talking about the Royal Rumble. I'm talking about what better place than WrestleMania for the Undertaker to make one last match against Brock Lesnar.
Teddy, what do you think about that?
I think that's a good idea, but I think we're too close. You know what I mean? I think with that story there, you need to build it a little bit. You know what I mean? You need to take some time with it because you got to go back in time a little bit, explain to the fans, how all this began. So, and me with thinking, with Taker, he's all healed now, he's doing great and stuff, you know what I mean? And I think Taker's story would be, whether I want to come out of retirement or whether I really want to do this, but I have to defend. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if I see the Undertaker come back, especially for a WrestleMania moment or some kind of a run, I want to see a story because there's got to be a reason why he comes out to fight, not just because he's got a beef. Oh, I forgot. I got to come back for one more match because I'm pissed off at Brock.
Well,
there needs to be a story in there that drags him back into the ring. Vengeance.
Well, that's what I said. You got to build it. You got to build something there. And if I was Brock, you know what I mean, I think I'd go the same exact way that they did with him and Cody Rhodes. Brock comes right into Taker and he hits him somewhere where he's in one of those hips where he's had surgery or where he's had hip replacement. Yep. Attack that. You know what I mean?
Well, so Undertaker is still, let's call it, upset about that loss. I mean, Brock Lesnar destroyed the streak of the Undertaker.
Yes.
So this has got to be the vengeance.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And Brock Lesnar knows that if he doesn't do it this time, it's all over for him. So why not attack that where that hip's been replaced? You know what I mean? Because a man got to have 2 legs to stand.
Let me play devil's advocate here. Do we want these 2 huge stars in a WrestleMania match, or is it better for Brock to put over somebody like Gunther for the future of the wrestling and forwarding storylines? Because Undertaker's only going to come in for that one match.
Yeah, but the fans want to see this. This is the revenge match. They all most loyal fans know this. WrestleMania is 3 more months from when we're recording this, okay? And in my opinion, they have time on the shows to have the Undertaker come back, and he said that one match that I have to end the career. And
And he could do that at the end of WrestleMania, right at the end there. That's the last thing you hear. Give me the dong and Taker on the widescreen talking about that last match that I've got to have.